Hi, y'all. I'm Barry Hack. Last week we talked about Mary and Joseph and how Joseph had a dream to keep his wife even though she was pregnant. And the dreams basically told him that, hey, it's God's son, Jesus, Lord saves, Emmanuel, God with us. Mary, she went and stayed with her relative aunt, more than likely Elizabeth, for about 3 months, maybe 6 months or more, and then came back. And then what do we read in Luke chapter 2? In those days, Caesar Augustus, if I was to stop right there, I bet you could recite the rest. You would probably say, issued a decree to the entire Roman world. When did this happen? Well, when Quirinius was governor of Syria. I mean, Luke paints a picture here that's specific in time. We can go back in history and go look when Caesar Augustus was ruling and when Quirinius, that's a hard name to say, was governor of Syria. And it was the first time. Luke specifically says this was the first time the census was taken while Quirinius was governor. So it means there was many censuses, but it was the first time. And so Mary and Joseph, they travel on down to Bethlehem. And when we read these stories in our minds, we love it. I do. I mean, it's for us. It's when we celebrate it at Christmas time. We already know he was probably born in the spring, but we celebrate at Christmas time. We get excited. We decorate Christmas trees. We put out lights symbolizing the light of life being born into the world. We get hope. We get joy. We get excited about giving each other presents, gifts, like God gave us the gift of Jesus. And so at Christmas time, there's a lighter feeling in the air. And with Mary and Joseph going down to Bethlehem, they had to travel about 80 miles. They had to go probably around Samaria because Samaritans were not Jew lovers. They did not love the Jewish nation. They had a little animosity towards each other. And so Mary and Joseph had to travel probably about 80 miles. Normally, 20 miles a day. They'd get down there in about 4 or 5 days, no problem. But I want you to imagine a pregnant woman on the back of a donkey. Yeah. Ladies are probably going, no way, I'm good. Get me a cart, something like that, cushions, yeah, no. And then the bathroom potty breaks, yeah. So it probably took them at least 10 days, if not longer, to do that amount of traveling and get down there. And so with it taking that long, that's why we read when they get down there was no room. I mean, they didn't have cell phones and telephones. So they'd call ahead and say, hey, party for two, Mary and Joseph, you got a good room for us, honeymoon suite. They weren't able to do that. So by the time, the longer travel time, because she was so far along in her pregnancy, they didn't get down there in time to get a room. So everything's full up. They don't have a summer cottage down in Bethlehem in his hometown. So what do? Family members down there, they go to a cave, basically, where animals were kept. And hey, it's warm, it's sheltered out of the weather. And Joseph and Mary stay there. It doesn't say that immediately when they got to this place that she began to give birth. They may have been there for a week, maybe a couple days. It doesn't say. But the point is, while they were there, the time came and Mary gave birth to Jesus. And when Jesus was born, she took some clothes and she rips them up and swaddles him. She protects his limbs. She gives him warmth and care so that when baby Jesus, if he was to roll over or side, he's not going to hurt something, get bruised, break a bone. That was kind of the practice of what they did. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, you give me an old shirt that's been washed in fabric softener and detergent 100 times and has maybe a couple holes in it, it's going to be the most comfortable shirt and I'm going to want to wear it. Now, it doesn't look great like a brand new shirt would, but it feels so good. And that's probably the type of fabric that she brought along with to rip up, something that's soft and comfortable and protective and something that's going to take care of her new baby. Boy. And so as Mary gives birth to Jesus, out in the fields nearby are the shepherds. Shepherds, what are they? Lowliest among the low in the Jewish nation, right? Taking care of the animals. You can imagine the smell. If you've ever been around anybody that takes care of horses and cows and stuff, it's not that they smell because they get to go take showers every day. These shepherds weren't able to do that. They slept out in the open. They're around the animal droppings, we'll put it lightly like that. And there was a little bit of a smell with them too. So all of a sudden they're sleeping, trying to get a few shut eyes, but protecting the sheep and the cattle and everything from predators, lions and bears. I mean, they're in an open country. And so here comes an angel appearing, an angel in the middle of the night with a bright light. Has anybody ever, walked into a room and turned on a light with someone sleeping in there? And that person's like, what? They're trying to see. Imagine the light of God, an angel with the light of God behind him coming and appearing to you. I mean, it's not just heart exhilarating, heart stopping, bright light. It's just intense. And so what does the angel say? Don't be afraid, it's all good. Okay, this is Barryism. Don't be afraid, it's all good. I'm here to tell you some great news. See over there in that town, in Bethlehem, a Savior's been born, the Messiah. He's here. Go see. And as soon as he gives us news, and that shepherds aren't so afraid at that time, it's amped up just a little bit more. All of a sudden, thousands of angels. This is a great company. So thousands of angels appear singing in great tune. Of course, I'm not going to sing for you, but in great tune, praising God and giving God praise. And the angels see this. Can you imagine the most awesome concert ever? So they hear this news, they hear the song praising God, they're stoked. They zip out of there, they head over to where Mary and Joseph are staying at. They see the baby exactly as the angel said and are just overwhelmed. Now, I want you to picture it from Mary and Joseph's side. Here's Mary and Joseph. Maybe just got down there. They've just had a baby, again, childbirth, okay? Not exactly the greatest, woo, let's do this again in an hour type event. It's great that the baby's born, but mama goes through some pain. So here's Mary and Joseph just resting from the baby being born, and all these shepherds come rushing in to see the baby. I know they're proud parents, but at the same time, they're like, can we get a break? Hold on. So their life is a little bit of a struggle here too. I'm sure they are proud and showing the baby and just probably themselves going, what's going on? Wow. So it doesn't give us their perspective, but come on, you guys know. So the shepherds leave, they go tell everybody in town, everybody who heard it's amazed. You would think that everybody in town would go see baby Jesus. It doesn't say that they didn't, but it doesn't say that they did. But I look at it as a human point of view. If someone came to you today and said, hey, this great movie, or you got to go get this food, this restaurant, go eat there, or this piece of clothing, do you typically rush out and go get it? And I know it's not God's shirt or God's restaurant or something like that, but typically we as humans don't rush out at that minute. In fact, sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times of being told how great it is or what a great show it is or whatever before we ever go and turn it on or go eat it or purchase it or whatever. We are a little slow to be motivated sometimes. So here's the baby born. Shepherds go out and tell everybody the great news and then return. And then, of course, a little bit later, 8 days later, they have to travel to Jerusalem. Not as far a trip, about 6 miles. So they could probably travel there in a day and back. Maybe 2 days, a day there and then a day back. But the point is, God was faithful to Mary and Joseph, and Mary and Joseph were faithful to God. And that's what the Christmas season brings us such hope of faithfulness. God being faithful to us to send a Messiah, a baby to be born at Christmas time to bring us joy, hope, peace in the future with his future death on the cross. And so when I think of this, I think of us and our faithfulness to God. And that's what it's all about. Are you being faithful to God? And the simple answer is yes or no. Has God called you to some ministry, to some important decision, to some thing that he wants you to do? See, it's not up to me to share the good news with everybody in the entire world. I mean, when you look at the video, I may get 100, 200 shares a week. But the point is, I don't have that many friends. You guys have the friends. And it's not that I have less friends than you. We're not comparing who has more friends. The point is, I may be able to impact a few people around me, but you're supposed to go and impact the people around you. You're supposed to be the one faithful to God's message. I appreciate all the encouragement. I'm going to keep doing messages and sending them out, but I need you to go and share God's word. Just like when the angels came and spoke to the shepherds, They were faithful to immediately leave and go and see what happened. And then when they saw and believed and made it in their heart to believe, they went out and shared with people. That's what the goal God has for us. Once you hear the good news, go and share it. Once you get excited, share it. And I know several of y'all aren't maybe not able to get out in the COVID season. You share this video, I appreciate that. But tell somebody you love them. Share the goodness of this Christmas time, this Christmas season of Jesus being born. Say the words, Merry Christmas. Okay? Not Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. It lets people know Christ is still in Christmas. God bless y'all. I hope you have a great week. I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to Christmas. And next week will definitely be the visit of the Magi. Just so you know, I hope you enjoyed that story, but typically they're not part of the Christmas story. They came a couple years after. I like them as part of the Christmas story, so I'm gonna share it as part of the Christmas story. Again, God bless y'all. Have a blessed week. Bye.